Hi, this is Manny. I'm here in Chesterton at Artistic Recovery. I'm your host. I have Gina Ray here, and we're going to talk about diversity and recovery. Gina, how are you?
I'm wonderful, thank you.
This question is, what is it like being a person in recovery, especially for someone who lives in an area that lacks diversity?
Well, I'm originally from this area, so I really don't think too much into my surrounding areas because I've always been here in Chesterton and in Valparaiso. But being a minority, I could see where a lot of people would kind of shy away from coming to a more diverse, my more majority whites. I could totally see where that would be a little bit more of a turnoff, because sometimes the racial profiling when you're in an all one culture, there's more racial profiling. There's a stigma where they think that the white man is bad, that you don't go to Chesterton, you don't go to Valpo because you're going to get more chances of getting pulled over because of the stigma of racial profiling. So the only way I can encourage people is recovery is a very selfish, very, very selfish thing. You have to think of yourself. You cannot think of your surroundings when you go into a meeting or even walk into 320. You have to put yourself first and not think of people around you, the pillars that are around you. You can't think of the race. You have to think of yourself because this is for you.
This is a two-part question. How would you encourage somebody listening to us today here in this community and even in this Northwest Indiana region where you have many diverse communities around Chesterton, yet Chesterton and Valpo are not yet as diverse as these other surrounding cities? How would you encourage somebody listening and watching to pursue recovery and even here at Artistic Recovery in Chesterton?
Well, I would definitely just encourage people to dive right in. 320 is an amazing place. I've been with this organization for at least 7 years now. They've been very open, very open arms, very embracive to my recovery. They want to help in any way that they can. So I would just revert back to my last answer: is recovery is very selfish. You have to think of yourself first. You cannot put what other people think of you or what other people may think of you. You have to put yourself first in order to heal.
What are a couple of culturally relevant resources that you can speak of?
I think the most important thing is building relationships with people, building relationships outside of your organization, building relationships in the community, mental health. First, take a look at what's going on in your mental health, because I read something where it says PTSD is more of a leading cause in the city, inner city, than it is for people who went to war. So you want to really go in and look at what the mental health is about. Maybe the anxiety of coming into a recovery situation, maybe the depression. When you're in depression, you have no desire to do anything. That's what leads to the drinking, because you're depressed. Alcohol is a depressant. It's a huge depressant. Just like I said, building relationships with your community, being out there.
How can you begin to put yourself in the community so in that circumstance become aware of the need? So being out there and actually being in the conversation out there to be able to see what actually the need is.
Community outreach, constantly being out there, constantly being seen, letting them know that you are there and that you are there for them. In African Americans, the overdose has reached at an all-time high. I think we're about 89% in the inner city of African Americans in the overdose. Human trafficking, that is also an epidemic out there right now. Bringing awareness just to the human trafficking, bringing awareness to overdose. Even with our bag programs, I've developed a relationship with the community. I've developed a relationship with people who also want to help people in the community. So it's developing relationship is the key. Being out there, being seen, being known.
Well, you know what? That's our time for today. Thanks again, Gina Ray, for your time and your great answers to these questions. I'm sure it'll touch somebody's life. I'm Manny. I'm your host for Artistic Recovery. Have a great afternoon.